talking about how he was Denzel Washington. And he was like, "Get your hands off me."
Because that was hilarious.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
We and when he was talking about Ti, I was praying for you expeditiously.
Yeah.
That's his favorite word.
He was like, every time he saw somebody, I would cry. And then they would cry with me. He said, when I saw T.I., but he said, that's a hard nigga. You know, he ain't about to cry. He's like, how you good, could you do that? Hello, and welcome to another special edition of the New Watchers on the Wall, doing something incredibly different. We saw a new...
Jamie Foxx's special on Netflix. See what happened was.
Wow. And really interesting special. I'm not going to put a lot of B-roll in there because for some reason, when you do these like specials and stuff like that, they give you a copyright strike.
Right.
But this special shocked me because I'm sure a lot of people who go in to watch it are probably thinking, oh, he's going to talk about what happened and kind of break it down. But I felt like there was so much to take away from what he was experiencing. And in particular, when watching this, you get a chance to remember how talented this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
He's singing. He's bringing up all the roles that he talked about. He's
doing impressions,
talking about religion,
mm-hmm.
just doing a lot of different things to where when you go in, you're going to walk away from this thing inspired, motivated, probably trying to find a church.
Yeah.
And overall, it was solid. What would you say was your favorite part?
I mean, when he came out in that leather matching suit, I really thought we were gonna get some Eddie Murphy
Ross.
Delirious. So some Martin Lawrence came out in his suits of leather. If you remember correctly, all you old heads out there, but it was completely different than what I thought. Now,
Yeah.
I knew he had suffered some type of medical issue that caused him to not be able to walk and things like that. But I thought that we were gonna get, the old Jamie Foxx. I didn't realize that we were gonna get this filled comedy special. And I thought it was, different. I thought it was refreshing and I enjoyed it.
I've never seen anything like that. When people talk about a roller coaster,
right.
This special was a roller coaster. He would hit you with these moments of laughter and funniness, and then he would go to that dark, deep place. In particular, I thought it was his ability to use comedy to talk about his medical issue was astonishing to me. In particular, when he was talking about recovering and being and going through like physical therapy and like how he was and how he was initially hesitant and fighting it and wanted to just give up because
he was like, I'm Jamie Foxx, this doesn't happen to me. It was like almost like he was in denial. Right.
He was in denial and really kind of wanted to give up because he's probably thinking like, damn, how do I recover and get back to the person that I was, this amazing star? And the funny stories that he would tell, like when he was saying, one day I thought I was Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
The next day I thought I was Jay-Z.
The one that got me when he was talking about how he was Denzel Washington, and he was like, "Get your hands off me."
Because that was hilarious.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching the Jamie Foxx show when I was a kid. I even take it back to watching In Living Color as a kid. And he's just so talented. All of the movies that he's been a part of, Django, Ray. I mean, even his other specials before when he imitated Prince. I mean, he's so talented. It's very rare that you can get a comedian who's like a triple threat, who can give you a well-rounded show and an entertaining experience. He gave us art, he gave us comedy, he gave us like music and I mean, everything that you can ask for an entertainer. He brought us to church. He did an altar call. I mean, not really, but like, it was a really, really entertaining show. It almost reminded me of one of those shows that you would go to on like watch night at a church. And it was like, person whose ministry was comedy, but like they sprinkled some, some cuss words in there. If you would have took those out, that's what I would have thought that we were in, like some type of ministry comedy thing at a church. But I mean, it
It,
was
it
really enjoyable.
and then piggybacking off what you said when he was like, I gotta remind these motherfuckers who I am, right?
Right.
And because he was talking about the whole idea of everybody's talking about I was a damn clone, and
That was listen, if you know anything about black folks, we gonna
make some shit up.
we gonna make some shit up. We gonna have a conspiracy theory. It's just like that. He a clone. Like that cracked me up. And when he was talking about Ti, I was praying for you expeditiously.
Yeah.
That's his favorite word.
He was like, every time he saw somebody, I would cry, and then they would cry with me. He said, but I saw Ti, but he said that's a hard nigga. He ain't about to cry. He's like, how you good? Could you do that? But in talking about him saying, don't forget who I am, that part where he went through and he brought up all the different things that he's done to really highlight how talented he is. Like when he brought up on the screen Ray Charles scenes, and then he would do the Ray Charles. Then he brought up Shanae, showing you the Shanae character. And then he brought up the Django, showing you that, I can play that.
It's Django. The
Django
D is
is
silent,
right? As he would say. But just a really, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And I think that it's something that everybody should watch, because the other thing it made me think about, as a black man is, and just I guess people of color in general, because in a lot of ways we tend to be more impacted by medical conditions than other ethnicities and races. It made me really realize like how important like that health is and stuff like that, and trying to stay as healthy as you can, because life can change in a blink of an instant. And the question is, when those kind of things happen to you, who's really gonna be there to hold you down? And he spent a lot of time talking about the people in his life that held him down, his sister, his daughters, and just kind of going through all of this stuff. So I think that there's a lot to like really sit back and just process, in addition to just like the jokes and the fun and the things that he was talking about.
hmm Yeah, it really made me think too. Like, if something happens to you, if you're in a coma, like who's gonna be at your bedside? And it just was really like I was like, man, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
It's scary. Like
It
to be
is.
honest
It
about it, as I
is.
was sitting there, I was like, this is some scary stuff, because never in a million years did he probably think that was going to happen to him. People have brain aneurysms and all kind of stuff all the time.
Isn't that what he had? No, he had a stroke.
He said he had a brain bleed
Bleed.
that eventually led to a stroke, I think he said.
And how does that even happen?
I don't know, man.
Just random.
I don't know, man. If you know, leave it in the comments. I was thinking maybe did he have high blood pressure or something like that? Because sometimes when you have high blood pressure or hypertension and stuff, things like that can happen. But overall, man, I was thoroughly surprised and just enjoyed it. So one of the things that we love to do when we're watching our shows and stuff is we like to give them a rating. What are we gonna rate this episode? What are we gonna use to rate it? What's gonna be our litmus scale?
I will give it
No. What is gonna be our thing though?
Shanays.
How many Shanays would you give this out of 10?
How many Shanays?
How many Shanays would you give it out
I
of?
would give it 10 Shanays.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I'm
I
right.
really enjoyed it.
I'm right there with you. I'm giving it like a 9.5. I'm literally giving it like a 9.5, because I just thought that it touched on everything. As I was watching it, I was laughing, I was reflecting. I was like, I'm getting my ass in the gym later on today, right?
Oh yeah.
Like just, I mean, really good stuff, man. And I think that a special like this has the potential to maybe change people's lives in a positive way as it relates to maybe getting back in the church, finding religion, getting back healthy, even just to sit up and think about who gets to make decisions about you when you're incapacitated it made me think about so many different kind of things. And we want to ask you guys watching the video, what would you guys say? What would you rate this episode? What would you rate? And we want to ask you guys, what would you rate this special that Jamie Foxx put out? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. and consider being a member of our channel. And we will catch you guys in the next video because our watch has ended.
Bye.